Hello Libras and welcome to your September 2022 reading. So, I meditated on your energy and what Spirit wanted to talk to you about this month. The first card that I have is the Ten of Swords. So, you come into the month with that kind of, whew, I've reached my limit and I have the consciousness of how my way of thinking, my beliefs have hurt me, have betrayed me, what I have allowed others to think or to act upon, what was my truth. Ten of Swords, this is the moment where we are actually conscious of all of the swords that we had, that we've endured in our period of the Ten of Swords. So you're coming into the month really conscious about that. Of course, when we hit the 10, it's the last of it. We can't go deeper than that, lower than that. We've hit rock bottom, but we are conscious of all of those swords. After, we have death. So this Ten of Swords actually leads to a transformation. And then we have the Eight of Swords, and it also leads to a release of emotional baggage, of emotional imprint in your waters, okay? Eight of Cups, this is when we are ready to actually, we have this notion that, you know what, there's more out there. I can vibrate at a higher level. I can have higher stages of peace, serenity, love within myself, and I'm gonna go for it. That's the decision of leaving the emotional baggage behind. After, we have the Eight of Swords. Under the Ten of Swords, we have the Eight of Swords. So that Ten of Swords comes after or within a huge mental prison where we don't know what to do next, and our mind is trying to find and figure out a way, but it keeps getting deeper and deeper into the mud, and we have to figure out. So there's this overactive mental, okay, that is kind of analysis paralysis, and we're trying to figure out mentally what is the next move. But it's obvious that it's going to be more of a release than trying to figure out a solution. And of course, under that, I have the Five of Wands, because all of this mental stress makes your fire all over the place. This brainstorming, brain analysis paralysis, energy storming of will, yes, this, but not that, and so on. I mean, this is exhausting. So, Libra, you're arriving, this to whom it will speak, you're arriving at the beginning of the month exhausted, okay? Under death, we have the Four of Swords. And the Four of Swords, this is when, I have an Ace of Swords, and this is actually allowing me to understand why I've been hurt in the past, where my disappointments came, where my deceptions came, and so on. Under that, I have the Eight of Pentacles and the Tower. So this is all about how you used to invest yourself. Commit, invest, focus, how you used to bring your energy. What was the belief behind how you invested yourself, okay, behind the energy of investing oneself. The fact that the Tower is there after understanding and releasing, that means that you will not be structuring your mind and how you do things the same way after, okay? The Tower is that realization that, oh my God, I would have never reached the true goal my soul or of my aspiration that way. And it hits on us. And so how we've made our structure has to crumble so that we can start again from a stronger base. Under the Eight of Cups, we have the Page of Sword and the World. So that understanding, it's what is nice is that you won't remain the whole month just, thinking about it and brewing the whole sadnesses and the understanding and so on. No, with death and then the Page of Sword right away, you have this information, this new understanding, this new vision of things. You are releasing and let it go. And that is what will conclude the world here, finishing that cycle, with finishing that lesson, really being able to be in peace with everything that has happened because it is done. Okay? And under that, I have the Knight of Cups. So at that point, after releasing your old waters, there you are right away with this, this is what I want to bring forward. So it's like death and rebirth right away, the end of something and the resurgence of a new way of bringing yourself out there. Bottom of the deck, I have the Moon. So the Moon calls for the Death card because it's all about, right now, maybe that Ten of Swords came from things from the bottom of the sea coming up, and aspects of your psyche that are, and your memories and so on, that are coming up to the surface to be addressed, to be transformed, to evolve. And so this is a bit the process, but you're doing it pretty well. All right. Oh, that's not the deck I wanted. There you go. So let's clarify this for you, Libra. I call upon the divine. I call upon the light. I call upon the Holy Spirit. Help me clarify this reading for Libras for the month of September 2022. September 2022. Okay, show me that Ten of Swords for Libras. All right. We have the King of Wands, Nine of Cups. This is almost like realizing how, like I was saying, the swords, the way you think, your beliefs and so on, were preventing you from actually going for your emotional fulfillment, going for your happiness. King of Wands. This is how you've been bringing your willpower out there. Okay? Let's look at death. Here is the Eight of Swords because of our Five of Cups. And here I have the High Priestess. So, Eight of Swords, this is when you're in your head. Okay? So, of course, when you're in your head, you're not connected to the High Priestess. Because the High Priestess, it's more like the information of the soul, of, let's say, the right brain and not the left brain. Left brain is more of your mental masculine side. And here your masculine side is trying to find a solution. The solution is within your high priestess. It's the connection with your soul, with the invisible, with that whole aspect of yourself that has the solution of letting die the old sadnesses. So it's more of an emotional solution. If you let go of the emotional backup, the beliefs will disappear. It's very hard to fight a belief when you still carry the emotional backup to it. You know, if I was attacked by a dog, let's say, of course I will have the whole trauma, sadness fixed in my waters. And so even if I read all the books about dogs and I understand dogs and rationally I have no reason not to hate dogs, as long as I have the emotional backup of my old story, I will never be able to brainwash myself into loving and trusting dogs. So this is like a basic, 1 + 1 = 2. So here, how you learn to bring your willpower, okay, and the goals you went for and so on, was kind of influenced by your old sadnesses and grievings, and therefore was making things a lot harder for you. Now let's go see the 8 of Cups. Six of Swords. Letting go of the old sadness and turning the page. Actually turning the page on past traumas, events, memories, keeping the lessons of it, but really moving past it. You know, like I'm done, I'm past. I'm using my willpower to actually push myself, my inner feminine and my inner child, away from that emotional resonance. And here I have the 3 of Pentacles, because at this point you will want to start building something completely different, not in the same way that you used to build. Let's look at that 8 of Swords here under the King of Wands. Why is the 8 of Swords under the King of Wands and the 10 of Swords? Okay. All right. I have the Empress in reverse, and I have the Page of Pentacles. So this is almost like you have something in your hands, okay? But how to go about it? How to plant it and make it grow into my 10 of Pentacles, into my empire. And here, the Divine Feminine is in reverse. Probably because she's the one carrying all of the wounds within herself. And therefore, she's not influencing your beliefs, because she's holding all the sadnesses, the hurts, and the things like that. 5 of Wands. So she's not giving the direction. Here I stopped on the Ace of Wands. She's not giving the directions, because Wands and Swords are masculine energy. Okay? But the masculine energy needs to be influenced by your inner feminine. If you want to feel aligned, if you want your masculine and your feminine to be in symbiosis, it cannot be separated. You can do it for a while, compensate with your masculine, but it's going to work a lot harder than he should. Let's look at that Five of Wands. And this is almost like, it's very paralyzing. Here is the World, and here is the Three of Wands. Part of those beliefs were about what is possible for you to receive. Okay, the Three of Wands is what we expect. So if you expect conflict and other people's willpower counteracting yours and so on, because of a certain belief you have that life is a combat maybe, and that if I didn't fight for it, I'll never have it, and you know, all this attached to then what's next, and the sadness about it, then of course you're going to have a hard time receiving, because that's what you're expecting. Therefore, that's what you're going to get. But it's done. The World. That lesson is done. Almost everybody until now has had the World like, sorry, like he went and sat on grass or whatnot. So the lesson is done, and now it's that transition between the lesson is done, is understood, and now I'm going to transition into my next cycle and what it's going to be about, and not just a repeat of the same thing. Now, what did we have here? Oh yeah, that was the Four of Swords. Let's look at the Four of Swords. Queen of Pentacles, Three of Cups. Healing from, again, we have the Divine Feminine here. She was reversed, but here we're healing about almost the Divine Feminine in our capacity to rejoice, to celebrate life, to rise our cup and be happy. Probably linked to our self-worth here. Let's see. Having things light and easy. Let's see the Tower and the Eight of Pentacles. The Tower and the Eight of Pentacles. Ooh, okay. All right. Six of Pentacles. Seven of Cups in reverse. That's good. And here I have the Knight of Pentacles. So in order to continue your growth, you know, right now you're probably in the okay, but what next and what next, you know? So in order to continue your growth in a balanced way, where you will allow easiness, abundance, fruitfulness within yourself, that it's just the most normal thing to do, to receive all of that in ease and grace and joy. Cups and Pentacles, your two feminine elements, okay? And then if you actually invest yourself and work on things with that vibration, things are going to be much easier. All right, so let's see the World. Here is the Queen of Pentacles again, the part of you that allows easy abundance and that knows that the universe is going to support her, that she's going to have everything she needs, and it's normal to receive and to be secure into what is coming. Here is your Four of Swords, but Four of Swords with the World. So finishing, just thinking about it and analyzing this, and you know, because we can be in this Four of Swords for like 20 years if we want to. You can be in therapy for 20 years, always chewing the same card, about the same things and understanding it mentally more and more. But as long as you don't release it emotionally, this will not lead you anywhere. You need to not to learn to live with it, but to actually heal from it. And here, the world with the Page of Sword, this is like, now I know how to think in that new way, how to see life in that new way. I'm done. It's done. Here, Two of Cups. The mirrors in your life are going to change because of that. This is like, okay, all the people that have hurt me in the past, now I understand the lessons from it, and now I can grow and evolve and transmute from what was shown to me, instead of it allowing it to distort my way of thinking and making me disconnect from that part of me, from my inner emotional part. And then that's why after we have the Knight of Cups. So then we're going to start allowing and following water within us. Knight of Cups. What is the Knight of Cups here for Libras? Queen of Cups. And here at the bottom of the deck, we had the Moon on one side, and here the Two of Pentacles on the other side. So what was making you juggle, the inner beliefs that were making you juggle, are going to come up to the surface. And they've already started. It brought you to the Ten of Swords. That everything that had to do with what you want to go for, whether it is in relationships, your vision of that, or your own ambition and so on. Your divine feminine was disconnected, making things unbalanced, and you were carrying your sadness and your things like that. Now it's time to just let that die, to re-empower your Empress, so she can give you a direction, understanding from the spiritual cosmic intelligence here, so that you can start connecting, receiving high vibrations of water within yourself. So it's like you didn't know what was next, but now by rehabilitating your divine feminine, it's actually going to give you the direction, but also that inner knowing of support and guidance within yourself. You're going to invest yourself in a completely different way. I should call that because investing yourself in a completely different way is a bit long to fit in the little box there. But I'm going to put the world, because in a way you're finishing the old cycle of the way you used to invest yourself, and you hit the brick wall here at the beginning of the month. Finally, you're going to have a direction. A new direction. There you go. Okay. So thank you, my beautiful Libras, for watching, sharing, commenting. Please subscribe if you want the channel to grow. If you want a private reading, my nieces created me a beautiful website. So now all the booking and the information will be through the website. So it's going to be mysticwitchtarot.com, of course, but it's going to be online on Saturday, next Saturday, the 3rd of September. So, and then you'll be able to book from there. It will be no more than 3 weeks in advance like that. So if one day you come, you want to book, everything is booked, well, by just popping in once in a while, it will always have new availabilities as we go along in time, so that it's not like booked for 6 months and then, that's it. So, all right. Also, thank you for the ones of you who gave donations. It helps more than you think. And happy, it's gonna be the equinox, the September equinox. Waboon, happy celebration, the time where balance, the world, the balance between the day and the night, the reaping of the harvest. Have a beautiful celebration, Libra. I forgot to talk about that in the other videos, but anyway, all my love and light. Thank you for your donations, and of course on the new moons, but this month I think I'm gonna make it on the equinox. I do a little ceremony to give you back. So on this, mwah, all my love and light, and I'll see you next month. All right.